All right, so today we will calculate the unit rates of length, area, and other quantities measured in like or different units that include ratios or fractions. Guys, this is nothing new. This is stuff that we've already been over. You have homework tomorrow. Your homework is in Schoology. If I don't have it in there now, I'll have it in there before we leave, okay? And then be prepared for a quiz tomorrow. Your quiz is going to cover your homework and what we're going over in class today. You need to make sure that you are writing these problems down. If you're not writing them down, you can screenshot them with your device, but you need to. I feel like in order to get better at it, you've got to do it. So sometimes taking a picture of it is not like you writing it down yourself and going through the process. All right. So these are the type of problems that this standard covers. I need everyone to look up, okay? Number 1 says, let me make it bigger. I don't know how much. No, that wouldn't be effective. Hold on. Okay. Number 1. Read number 1 for me, Colin.
Her earned $7 mowing her lawn for half an hour. What is her hourly rate?
Okay. So I know that you probably can look at that and you can probably tell that the answer is going to be what, Colin?
14.
It's going to be 14. But there is a strategy to solving these problems. It is setting up a proportion, you guys. It is setting up a proportion. So let's look at this. When we set up a proportion, the first thing that we need to do is we need to copy the information that they have provided us. And they told us that Kira earned $7 for how long? For mowing the lawn of her neighbor for
an hour.
In half an hour. You're going to write that in your first fraction, okay? You're going to write that in your first fraction. So you're going to put $7 over 1/2 of an hour. It is so important that you write the units down. I've told you before, don't just give me a 7 and a 1/2 because you're going to confuse yourself when it's time to interpret this and relate it to the real world or to your problem. Okay? So we've got that much down. Kira earned $7 more on her neighbor's lawn for half an hour. What is her hourly rate? If they're asking me what is her hourly rate, what are they trying to figure out? Yes.
What she gets per hour?
How much does she get per hour? Wesley, what does per hour mean? How many is per hour? 1. Everybody, per means 1. So when I come over, I am going to put the 1 hour at the bottom. That's why it's important that you label your units because they have to match up. And the amount, we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. What is her hourly amount? So I'm going to put an X there. I'm going to put an X there. This, you guys, is a proportion. This is what we've been talking about this year. Does anybody remember? How do we solve for X? Jake, talk to me. You cross multiply. What are we cross multiplying? You're doing 7 times. Let me pull this up a little bit more. We're doing 7 times 1 hour. What is 7 times 1? 7. What am I doing next, guys?
You gotta divide by 1/2.
Divide by what's left. So I'm going to divide by 1/2.
3.5.
Well, hold on. Let's work through this.
Keep change flip.
Well, we got to keep change flip, but we got a whole number and a fraction.
Yeah, but 1.
Let's put 1 under that, under the 7. So now we have 7/1 divided by 1/2. Can we divide fractions?
No.
No. Jake, what do we do when it's time to divide fractions and someone says we can't divide fractions? Keep, change, flip. What am I keeping, class? Huh? 7/1. What am I changing, Wesley?
We're gonna change 2 of them. We're gonna change 1/2 into 2 of them.
I'm going to change 1/2 into 2/1. That's to reciprocate. What else am I going to do?
You're gonna multiply.
You're going to change the division to multiplication. Okay? Now, when we multiply fractions, how do we multiply fractions? Multiply straight across. And that would give us an answer of what? 14. 14/1 or 14. What does the 14 tell us? Where do I put the 14 in my answer?
What she earns her hourly rate.
I put it right there where the X was. So basically, now I know that X is 14. What was up on top here? $7. So that tells me that it's $14 per hour. So Kira makes $14 per hour. Do you have any questions about this one? Do me a favor. Go ahead and write number 2 down. Write it down or take a picture. If you want to take a picture and then maybe write on your picture with your whatever scribble feature, write how we solve those problems. That can work too. That can save us some time. All right, number 2 says the Jenkins family drink 3/4 of a gallon of orange juice every 3 days. How much orange juice do they drink per day? And Wesley is going to work this one out for us. If he gets confused, we're going to step in and we're going to help him. Come on, Wesley.
Okay, so I'm gonna set it up as a proportion. I'll put 3, 4, a gallon. Over 3. 3 days. So I put 3/4 over 3/4 gallons of OJ over 3 days, and I'm gonna put 1. I'm gonna put 1 on the bottom. I'm gonna put 1 on the bottom. That's per day. Then I'm gonna put an X here. Then I'm gonna cross multiply 3/4 times 1. That would be 3/4. Then I'm gonna divide by 3. But I can't divide that, so I'll go over here and write 3/4 times 1/3. That will give me 3/12. Then I can simplify that by 3. That will give me 1/4. So the Jenkins family drinks 1/4 gallon of orange juice per day.
Write that down right here. Put 1/4 gallon and then put a / day.
Gallon / day.
Do you all see what he did? Does anybody have any questions about what Wesley did? If so, this is the time to ask. All right. All right, I'm gonna do the next one about Isaac on the swim team because I just realized that I had my camera turned the wrong way. So let me do this one. This one says that Isaac is on the swim team and he is training for an upcoming race. He swims across a 50-meter pool in 3/5 of a minute. Okay, that's the information that they've given me, Christian. The information that they have provided for me is that he swims across a 50-meter pool in 3/5 of a minute. That is what I am going to put in my first fraction, my first ratio. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm simply going to write 50 meters in 3/5 of a minute. I'm going to make sure I put meters and minutes so that I will not get confused. The first thing is to take what they have provided for you and put it into a fraction, okay? Then I look at what they're asking me for. They say, at this rate, how far can Isaac swim per minute? What did I tell you per minute, Colin? 1. So, I want to figure out in 1 minute, and I'm going to put 1 minute here because it matches with the 3/5 of a minute. That's why it's so important that you write your units down. And how far, I don't know that. So that's where I put my X. The weird part about this lesson, guys, is that on the quiz tomorrow, you will not be able to use a calculator. You will not be able to use a calculator because this standard doesn't require that you use a calculator. It's on that non-calculator part of the test. So you got to get familiar with doing this without using a calculator. First thing is I am going to cross multiply. What's 50 times 1? 50. Okay, so I'll just put 50 up here. Now that I've done that, what do I do with this 3/5 of a minute that I have?
Divide.
I'm going to divide by 3/5. Can they see that? I don't know if they can see that. I'll bring it down a little bit. I'll say 50 divided by 3/5. And remember, it's this problem that we're doing, okay? Now, I have a whole number in a fraction. How can I divide a whole number in a fraction? What can I?
Put a 1 under.
I need to go ahead and put a 1 under the 50 to make that 50 over 1. Now, can I divide fractions?
Yes.
I can?
No.
No. So what do I need to do?
Keep changing.
Keep, change, reciprocate. What am I keeping?
50 over 1.
50 over 1. What am I changing?
You're going to multiply and then put 5 over 3.
Then put 5 over 3. Got it. Now, my question for you is, what do I do to multiply fractions? Cross multiply. And when I cross multiply 50 times 5, what am I getting? 250. And you don't need your calculator for that because you know that 5 and 5 is 25 and you bring down your 0. And then what's the denominator going to be? 3. All right. Now, can we simplify 250 over 3?
So we're going to divide 250.
You're going to say 250 divided by 3. Because it's an improper fraction, let's go ahead and make that 250 divided by 3. And this is how I'm going to do this, guys. I'm going to say 3 divided by 250.
83 of 1 over 3.
83. You sure it's 83? 8 times 3 is 24. 10, 83. That's right. So we got 83 and 1/3. So basically, X means 83 and 1/3. that basically tells me that Isaac is able to swim 83 1/3 meters per minute. Okay, 83 1/3 meters per minute. Now, Ms. Barlow, why did you do all of that at the end? Because I ended up with an improper fraction. Now, if I had a 1 there, then I would say, okay, 250 over 1, that's 250. But that told me that I can divide it so that it could become a mixed number again. All right. We're going to go ahead. I want you to go ahead and write about Chloe and her dog, Bingo. All right, Colin is going to do, what number is this one? Colin is doing number 4 about Chloe and her dog, Bingo.
Okay.
Talk to us, Colin.
I'm not done yet.
Huh?
I said I'm not done yet.
Can you talk to us while you do it?
Maybe, I love everybody. Look, I'm not really, that great of a talker while I'm doing this. You see,
All right, tell us where you are, how we got to where you are right now.
okay, so there's 2/3 of a mile, so I put 2/3 right there. And then there's 1/6 of an hour, so I put 1/6 right there. And then it says how far can you walk per hour, so I put 1 right there because per hour equals 1.
Very good. Don't forget to put your H right there for hour. Okay? So explain, stop right there. Explain to them what you just did with the 2/3 times 1 equals 2/3.
Or cross multiplied.
Okay, you cross multiplied, okay.
2/3 times 1.
Okay. Okay, so explain to them what just happened.
Okay, so just 2/3 times 1 equals 2/3. We have a 1/6 right over there. We keep changing, flip that.
Because that was division, right?
Yeah.
So initially it was 2/3 divided by 1/6. I want to make sure we put that there so nobody can get confused in how we got there. Okay, go ahead.
So to keep changing, flipping that. The division sign turns into a multiplication sign, and then this flips over from 1/6 to 6/1. And then we multiply straight across. 6 times 2 equals 12, and then 3 times 1 equals 3. And then 3 times 4 equals 12, and that's how I got my answer for.
So 4, what does that mean in relationship to the problem?
Excuse me. In each hour, she can walk 4 miles.
Yes. 4 miles. So in our final answer, we would put the 4 here, right? Which means 4 miles. Chloe can do 4 miles per hour. Any questions about this problem? Well, you had your head down half of the time, so you probably are a little confused right now. Huh? Say what now?
If you got 2/3 times 1, and then it equals 2/3 times 6 over 1.
Okay. So he had 2/3 times 1. You see that was the 2/3 times 1 when we cross multiplied. You see that? Okay. Once we did this, what's the next thing we do? I'm talking to Christian. Huh? Divide by what? Huh? Divide by what? Now we multiplied 2/3 times 1. So now that we did that, what do divide by 1/6? So this is 2/3 divided by 1/6. You see that? We know we can't divide fractions. He stayed, changed, and flipped. That's how he got 2/3 times 6 over 1. He multiplied straight across. And his final answer, he reduced this. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 is his answer. Chloe and her dog can do 4 miles per hour. Real quick, I want you to check in your Schoology to make sure that your homework is in there. And here's some more practice problems. If you finish your homework and you say, okay, I need some more practice, you can always do 5, 6, 7, 8. You can always do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so you have practice problems. I'm going to put a copy of this in Schoology. I'll put a copy of this in Schoology. So if you need some extra problems, you can have that. Do you all see it in Schoology?
No.
It's not there yet? All right, so now that you see it in Schoology, it's called 7 RP.1 homework. You have some questions that you're going to do. You are going to write your answers on the document. You're going to submit it back to me. I am not grading it for accuracy. I am only grading it for completion, and it's only worth 25 points as homework, but you will have a quiz for 100 points on this same kind of content when you first walk in class tomorrow. That's going to be worth 100. So if you want to play with the homework and rush through it and copy somebody else's, it's not going to help you at all. Because if you don't know this, you will get a failing grade on the quiz. Yes. Huh? I can't hear you.
We can't draw on
Just go
this.
down.
You can't draw on it.
You just go down.
You got to download it.
Yep, yeah.
Any more questions? Yes.
This doesn't have to do with the homework, but are we still getting grades for the other stuff we have to do?
Like what?
Like the balloon cards and the other homework for the other ones.
Are you still getting...
Grade for it.
Yeah, you're still getting a grade